this is the Goblin Society is built around, dedication as well. It's those that commit more to the cause will get more in return. It's just one of those trade examples. Not everything in life needs to be random. Like sometimes it's nice to know exactly what you're going to get from a situation.
Yeah, I guess someone was making the argument those that have one seeker don't get a chance to get a gold. So it's technically supporting the more people with more capital, and therefore can be seen as unfair. I don't technically see it that way, because I think fair is relative, and like you said, if you're going to invest more time in any cause, then you're going to invest more money as well, technically, because the seekers are money. So yeah, I just wanted to hear maybe some of the thought process, and maybe others can hear it as well.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, it can come off as slightly harsh, but life isn't fair. And goblin life in particular it's a hard road being a goblin. So look, it's just one of those
play the fair game.
Yeah.
How come somebody that's starving isn't going to that person and being like, how come you're playing around with digital seekers? And,
right.
How come you don't sell that and buy me a sandwich? It's not good to just keep playing this fair game back and forth at each other. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Why don't you buy me a sandwich? It's going to be my new bumper sticker. We are live, by the way, people, just to let you know. It's time to burn. The website is live. You can go and burn your speakers. Wow, guys, we've got like 100+ people in here at the moment. That's fantastic. Howdy, all.
Can everyone please do us a favor? And if you're not speaking, everyone's free to speak. But if you're not speaking, please mute your mic. Please, thank you.
Yeah.
That goes double for Kyle, Jesse, and I, who are all sat in the same room right now.
What a brilliant idea that was.
Yeah, it's a busy office today.
You guys in a bit.
Yeah. Well, I've got a directional mic, so.
Kyle and I still have to box out here. Gonna get in the ring
That's
about
true.
this.
Yeah, I think we've got the same reach. It's just you're taller. But yeah, so right, let's go to the site and check it out. I need some music in here. I need Disco Inferno, baby fun.
Disco Inferno. I don't know if that's quite the level of quality you're after with your music, but I can do some ad-lib karaoke.
That was not bad. It's a good start.
We didn't start the fire. It was always burned since the world's been turning.
Is Jesse in here?
Yeah.
I see him. Hey, Jesse, you want to maybe talk about the creative process of Goblins and kind of, the different animations you've been doing and stuff with them and how that's gone?
He's coming.
He's waiting. He's going to unmic and say no.
I just think even though I'm on Seeker's team and all, I think they're super high quality and look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun watching them.
The truth comes out.
Hey, you got to respect the quality.
Jesse conveniently can't figure out how to turn on his microphone. I swear to God, he used to come onto a lot of the podcasts and stuff when we were getting started, and he's become more and more goblin mode, I think, as we've progressed and grown. Okay, Jesse, come sit next to me.
Just come sit on Alex's lap.
My voice portal-y thingy.
Yeah.
Here he is. Oh, Jesus, don't sit down so hard.
Hey.
You'll break it.
This whole time I thought people could hear me. Apparently not.
No, we need to restart. Some.
Okay.
Yo. Yeah, just curious about the creative process and all.
Any particular point of the creative process you want to know about? Or just start to finish?
Just like a general overview maybe, and kind of what tools you use, or if you can go into that and that sort of stuff, and like maybe how you animate the goblins to dance around and stuff.
Yeah, sure. We I think with the goblins, the same with TNL, we use a whole lot of different programs to kind of build the input for Dot. So if you guys remember, Dot basically takes a whole lot of inputs and then morphs between those and spits out random outcomes. And for goblins, because this is, you know, a very large amount of goblins we're hoping for, we need a huge amount of input. So we've been going through the process of creating like a base goblin. So that's kind of your atom goblin that everything kind of stems from, and then working out the pose of it, the height, the proportions, and then taking that into ZBrush and sculpting different variations of it. So it's like it's a pretty massive process where we create you know, hundreds of different heads, hundreds of different body types, right down to little facial features like extra big noses, ears.
The beauty of goblins as well, compared to say like, you know, more humanistic characters like TNL, is you can really push them. And you know, there were points where like some of the creatives would be like, "Oh, I made a mistake here," and it's like, no, yeah, it's not a mistake; it's a feature.
I love that. Yeah, and then for the animation stuff, a lot of it. So we're doing a lot of mocap at the moment, but a lot of the stuff that I've been doing for the meme quality things is finding mocap data. That it's not me. The twerking wasn't me. Just so you know.
It was me. Fine.
Yeah, and then kind of tweaking them, moving them about, and rendering them out in different engines.
But
very cool.
We're going to make it as sort of simple and straightforward as possible for everyone in the community and everyone who gets a goblin to produce their own awesome goblin content.
Guerrilla warfare, and I'm the top sniper.
Who's the top sniper?
Someone has a
Alex.
What about
My mic's pretty sexy. If that's what you mean.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. What's up?
Hello, mate. Just wondering if you could chat through the process. What happens now, if you can, from burning, like as in what happens from a wallet perspective, and where the inputs go and that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. So the seekers themselves are sent into the nether. They're sent to the standard burn address on a more technical level, and in the world of gods and goblins, they're torn limb from limb, dissected, smashed together, melted down, and
it turned into trinkets.
Well, mostly into portal parts, but there's some spare bits left over that we use for trinkets, and you can make a nice like goblet to drink some of your thingy tears out, flufflet tears, out of. But so those seekers that are being burnt will be burnt forever. It's not like they're just being put into a hold wallet or anything. They will be removed from supply ad infinitum. They're sent to the basically OX dead Ethereum address. From here, we have obviously a 2-week window for this pledge and sacrifice. When that closes, we actually have the launch of the Futureverse Ecosystem, which is basically a kind of unilateral identity tool that will be running all of your identity across Futureverse tools, applications, platforms, obviously the root network. When we look at that holistically, you'll be able to tie kind of multiple wallets to your Futureverse identity. The initial stage for setting that up is basically just when it comes to the end of the sacrifice, you'll then be prompted to just go and set up your Futureverse identity, which literally just takes like 2 clicks. It's basically, yes, connect wallet, and then that's done. When that happens, it'll spin up your wallet on the root network immediately. And your wallet on the root network will have the exact same wallet address as your Ethereum wallet. As soon as your root network wallet address is created, that will trigger an event, which means that your amulets will automatically be airdropped into your new root network wallet. From there, we then move into man, I'm losing track of all the names. I haven't had enough coffee. The summoning? No. Before the summoning.
The offering.
There we go. I knew there was another step. The offering, which is what we touched on last week in terms of the ability for everyone to start junking NFTs that no longer bring you joy, shall we say. You can Marie Kondo up your wallet and upcycle a lot of these junk NFTs into junk, which is more of a sort of similar to Moonrock. Well, hello. Right there. Anyway, and that will kick off then the summoning stage, which is when we get those beautiful goblins themselves. As soon as we actually mint the goblin, you'll then be prompted with the various kind of download forms, which will allow you to interact with them in a whole bunch of different ways and start pumping out some of the content like that booty twerk and dance that we showed you last week.
But you need to get Jesse and Mocap for that.
I don't know. I reckon we got some twerkers in our community.
I've been
that sounds awesome. Is there, Alex? Is there, ability for people, like, how does trading begin on people that turn up and want to buy an amulet in 3 weeks' time? Is that possible?
So we're in the later stages of development for the Root Network Marketplace. So we can't give a definitive kind of timeline on that, but we've got a large dedicated team pulling that together, and we hope to release some kind of teasers of that over the next couple of weeks. So that is kind of one point to note, is that when it comes to the initial bestowing of the amulets, there won't be a direct kind of ability to trade and gain liquidity in that sense, and that's why, in part, like the amulets, it's a very very limited number, very limited supply, and quite an elite kind of circle of people that will own them. But very soon after, we'll then be rolling out the actual dedicated Root Network Marketplace, and then you'll also see like bridges from Root Network to Ethereum first, and then bridges to other networks start to open as well. So those will then provide kind of this mass interoperability between chains to allow you to bridge your assets back. And obviously if you wanted to bridge it back to Ethereum and trade it on OpenSea, then that's one of those routes that you could take. But that's not something that will be active directly upon the bestowing of amulets.
So there may be black market trading on Google Sheets then.
I mean, that sounds pretty goblin-y. I mean, apart from the Google Sheets part.
Google Sheets does begin with G.
I think goblins would use Google Sheets.
We would use PowerPoint, mate.
that's for the fluffs, mate. No, it's too efficient, mate. Come on.
Yeah. Now, from a law perspective, like at the moment, it's pretty exciting. Like obviously the goblins are pretty excited about getting those seeker cores to be able to finish the portal. We're going to leave lots of tasty parts behind to build all sorts of contraptions with for the various factions to use come later. But no, as once we've got that portal open, that's sort of what we're moving towards, is having our buddies back, building a horde, become, lord of your horde, shifting towards that, like collecting the goblins that you want and having fun with them. That's what we're moving towards, So who in the crowd has burnt so far? Has anyone sacrificed yet? Feel free to just yell into your mic. It's an acceptable.
Yes.
Burn!
Yeah, that's more like it.
130.
yeah.
Gone.
Who was the
Burn
first
him.
one to make a sacrifice?
Yeah, I know. I wish we could figure out who the first sacrifice was.
You
That would be
can.
good.
I'm doing it right now.
Yes, go Mo Fluff. Who's the first to feel the burn?
Actually, a wallet I don't recognize.
Ah. That's
But
all right. Well done.
I'll say it out loud. So if anybody knows, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Yam96. Yam96.
Yarn 96.
Is Yam96 in the house?
This feels like a bingo call. Yam 96?
It does.
Have you got Yam 96?
I've got Yum 69. Damn.
Better luck next time.
If we look at the chat, the general chat, LV50 was the first to post that he was pledging and sacrificing his seekers. So, in absence of Yam 96 stepping up to claim his prize, their prize, LV50 can take that title.
I might share my screen and do a live sacrifice. I'm going for the gold, so let me just make sure I've got an appropriate screen up.
Should we all get sticks and marshmallows ready?
What's that?
Sticks and marshmallows?
I'm not sure if I can screen share in Smokers. Oh, there is a button for it. Yeah, no, there is. I've got share screen. Like I said, I'm just gonna wait to get that right. But I need some more screaming into the mic, really. Some more burn calls for me to feel inspired.
Burn.
Save our seekers.
Save them into the fire. Just that's a good place.
That's all right. They're just hugging the lava. They're fine.
270 seekers sacrificed so far.
Oh, burn those pesky seekers.
And also just a note, if gas prices are too stingy right now, remember you've got 2 weeks for this. So
We've got 2 weeks to do it. Yeah. There we go. That's the one.
I was actually surprised. I burnt 15 and it was only $20 in gas. So that was actually pretty nice. I was expecting a lot more for 15.
Well, I saw someone post a scary number screenshot in the Discord before, so but that may have been.
No, I think gas is going for it at the moment.
Yeah, it's about 60 grand.
That's not bad.
Okay, it was 30 before, which isn't too bad. But I've just got to jump out and I can jump back in and share with the group.
He's got to go apply more green paint, I think.
Green, purple, a little bit of blue, maybe some yellow.
You missed the cracks.
Does anybody want to share their strategy for burning? Like, I've been thinking about it for myself. Like, if you have a decent number, are you going to go for a gold? Or are you going to go for a bunch of bronze? Are you just going to save them all and hope that there's a reward? Curious.
Great question. Knox, do you want to go first?
There is no right answer.
Go for gold, right?
I have, similar to Metablocks, I have a lot of seekers, so it's a difficult question to answer.
Depends how long you want to be kept warm for, right? How hot do you need the fire to be?
How elite of status you want to have.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that you can burn seekers and then still get rewarded if you save one? Like, if I have 33 and I burn 32, do I still catch that reward?
What reward?
I mean,
I know no one really knows the answer and is not going to give it away. I just want to know the opinion of the people.
So just logically, if these guys are trying to reward you for not killing seekers, right, hypothetically, yeah, but you killed like 32 seekers, but were kind enough not to kill one, I don't know. If they were my children, I wouldn't so pleased.
It depends. Like, is he a cool seeker or is he like a bit of a dick?
He's definitely a bit of a dick.
Or
Does he run around causing
is he-
rogue in
is
your
he a
own
bit
wallet
of
and start killing everything?
rather than a dick, is he a bit of a tool?
Oh, oh.
Remember, while we're sitting here, the reason we're in Discord and not Twitter Spaces is it's okay if, again, not just random hot mic every once in a while, but it's okay to jump in, ask questions, converse. We had to mute a lot of people because you had hot mics because you weren't paying attention. So if you need to be unmuted, your server muted right now, say so in the general chat and tag one of us. But otherwise, like, this is an open conversation. This is meant to be us all kind of hanging out, talking during the pledge and sacrifice.
Goblins
ask
don't
about attachments.
like norms, so just feel free to shout and speak over each other, and just bombard us with questions that we won't answer.
Who was it?
Hey,
who
I
did
have
the
I have a quick question.
Yeah, let's all just start talking over
Yeah, I
it.
think it's
What?
about.
No, I can't hear it. Sorry.
Loud noises.
Okay.
So I just burned 5. So do the rings appear in the OpenSea account like later or?
No, so as I walked through before, all the amulets bestowing happens on the root network. So those will be airdropped at the end of the sacrifice in 2 weeks' time. You'll then be prompted when it comes to even going into the underground. There'll be a modal that pops up and says, "Hey, do you want to set up your Futureverse identity?" It's a very straightforward process. It's like 2 clicks. You basically just get taken to the Futureverse website. You say, "Yep, connect your wallet." That'll do all the stuff in the background, and you'll immediately get your amulets dropped to you on the network.
All right, thank you.
We saw the artwork on the what's happening. The artwork on the New Zealand fundraiser account. I seen the artwork. It looks beautiful, man. Are we gonna have something like that on the Ethereum network, or is the secondary market gonna take?
After this, for those of you who are looking for Goblin sounds to go live, we have a Sounds of the Underground to go live directly after this for all those Goblin noises.
Just to that question though. So yes, there's two gold amulets up on the New Zealand fundraiser page. We'll push out a tweet after all of this madness is over, just to drive that again. And the amulets on there, they're basically just placeholders that were spun up in a temporary contract, which you'll be able to burn and redeem for the actual final amulets on the root network next month. And yeah, as touched on before, as the amulets and goblins themselves are all happening on the root network, we're in the sort of final stages of development of the dedicated root network marketplace, and there'll be some more information coming out on that in the coming weeks. And then also the bridging components as well, which allow people to bridge their assets from root network to Ethereum and back, and then eventually to other networks as well. So not directly on the bestowing of the amulets, but the bridging back to Ethereum will then let you, if you want to list on OpenSea, then that's an option. But as I said, we'll also be launching the dedicated root network marketplace, which you'll be able to use pretty much any of the kind of key tokens that you have on in your wallets already.
The other thing as well with these amulets, these are long-term pinnacle assets in Goblin society. This is something that you want to hold on to for a long time.
I had a question about attachments. So this is just an example, but let's just take diamond drills. I have no idea how many there actually are, but let's just say there are 10, and 3 of them get burned. I think.
Sorry, I don't know who that was, but
that was Typo, I think.
It was
Thor. I think his child got him. That was Thor.
The anticipation is killing me.
Yeah, I think he wanted to. He asked it in general.
He asked it in general. He said, say there's 10 diamond drills and 3 get burnt, does that mean that the metadata for seekers will get reflected to be 7? is the question. And the answer to that, I believe, is yes.
Yeah.
So if attachments are burnt, they are gone. You can't use them anymore. They don't exist. We have chopped them up and repurposed them. Like a diamond drop example would make an amazing Goblin NutriBullet.
Do we have any idea of when we will be able to access Bridget to Ethereum, or are we kind of in the dark with that one? I understand that you said in the coming weeks, but is there any date you can give us?
So, as I said, the announcements will be coming out in the coming weeks, but no definitive launch date for that. But also, as the Root Network is an open source platform, technically anyone can develop a bridge between the Root Network and Ethereum. We're obviously developing our own official one, and we've got a dedicated team working on that as well. But I can't confirm a timeline for that right now.
Right. It'll sound a little silly, but when you think about what you're doing right now, right, you were literally burning NFTs to pledge allegiance to a group of goblins. And while that might sound crazy to some,
it doesn't sound crazy at all.
It doesn't sound crazy to me. There is kind of, a fun element of this where it's like, yes, this is different. This isn't your normal, pay 0.05 ETH and, out comes something on the other end and it's on ETH and it's, whatever. Like, this is a very strange maneuver that we're all going through, in some opinions. And, again, like Kyle was saying,
exactly
it kind
why
of
you
meant to
should
feel a
save
little
the
painful.
sneakers.
What? Oh, that's
exactly
because it's
why
too hard.
we should be saving them.
That's just the easy way. Saving them, you don't have to do anything.
Get them out of here.
Think of like saving them more like, like a burn 15, get 1 gold amulet, or like burn 5, get 1
how
silver.
many amulets the
That's the kind
Goblin
of
Queen
saving you
even
want.
has, and you don't know when you're going to be able to use them or sell them. So better off just saving your seekers, I think.
Wait, so has the gold amulet?
We know exactly how many. It's up to the community to decide how many amulets there are. The Queen rewards all people that support her cause.
Has the gold one changed from 25 to 15?
It's always been 15.
It's always been 15? Okay, my apologies.
Correct. 1 for bronze, 5 for silver, 15 for gold.
And if you're thinking about it from a mint, pricing perspective, that's the equivalent of 1.5 ETH. Is there gonna be some? Well, I understand that you're probably gonna say yes, but that's quite a hefty mint price. Is there gonna be huge utility to it, or
this isn't a mint though? This is a transfer of value. This is an exchange of utility and opportunities. This is a conscious decision to choose the goblin side, and yes, there is utility for this. You may have noticed that the things that we have been able to release so far, because the Queen is slightly sneaky, there are things that she obviously wants to keep hidden until those that have supported her cause and dedicated themselves have revealed themselves. But, they come preloaded with some junk in your trunk, which, will be useful quite soon. Yeah. Voting rights is going to be quite important as well as we grow Goblin Society to the sustainable green energy recycling type community that it is.
I wonder if they'll affect the type of accessories the goblins get as well. You guys
I think that's a good question, Jesse.
I wonder who might have that answer.
I feel like if there is accessories for goblins, there is. I feel like the Queen's Chosen would get access to some that others wouldn't.
I've heard they look really cool as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gimp suit really my favorite.
In fact, I hear
real Balenciaga on it, bro.
They even have it's a goblin in the background. I even hear that. They have genetic abilities.
500 seekers gone forever.
Yes. Woo! It's a good start.
Speaking
we
of,
can do better.
There's a contest that ends on the 27th. Make sure to put in your That's for the guessing how many are going to be burnt. Is that correct or no?
Yes. So there are 2 competitions running. There's one on our Instagram page, or Goblin Instagram as I'm calling it now. And then there's one on Twitter as well. So you can go and follow us on both socials. Make sure that you put in your guess, tag 2 people, and there is a silver amulet up for grabs on each one.
When does that close? So if I want to go like right up to the end and then put in a bet, is that possible?
I will confirm with the scribes on that one.
As you're all aware, I ruined the Gods and Goblins Marcom's channel, so now I'm having a hard time finding it.
I was gonna wonder if I could.
1 second. What was that question? Someone that just spoke?
No, it's just on the 27th, the comp closes.
Okay, 27th. That's what I thought. Thank you, Jazz.
Welcome.
With the amulets, are we going to be receiving, like, say, free airdrops of the goblins if they are to come through the amulets, or is that just our right to purchase?
So goblins don't come from amulets. Goblins come from junk. We'll be releasing, some information around that. But you burn seekers, you get amulets. You burn junk, you get junk, and then you can mint goblins with junk. Amulets will come freeloaded by benefit of the Queen with an amount of junk.
Okay, correct. And I presume you get junk from the amulets. Has that been decided?
Yes, you will get some junk from the amulets. Okay. You'll get an amount per amulet.
Can we pay more junk to get better rarity of goblins?
No. Well, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Not immediately.
That was a classic answer. That was so good.
Yeah.
And now a quick word from our sponsors that make the show possible. Are you building something cool in Web3? And would you like to get in front of the eyes and minds in one of the most engaged and loyal communities around, the FLUFWORLD? Well, hit me up on my Twitter DMs, as the channel is now seeking its first round of official sponsors. Alternatively, you can support my Patreon, or you can buy me a coffee. Oh shit. But if your liquidity is also run dry, fear not, because there's some things you can do for free, and it all makes a difference. You can hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment, and share this with your friends. I'd really appreciate it, and it helps support the channel. So with all that out of the way, let's get back to the show.
The summoning, which is, our first reopening of the portal, we got to make sure is the amulets.
Wait, I'm trying to figure out how to participate in this guessing how many seekers are going to be burnt. Where can I find it?
So you can go to Twitter, Gods and Goblins, on Twitter. Check the announcements channel. We should have that in the competition. There should be a thread for that as well. Maybe we can repost that in general. But you can either go to Instagram and find us there, which is Gods and Goblins, and you can find us on Twitter, which is Gods and Goblins as well. And there should be 2 tweets for that, or a tweet and an Instagram post.
Thank you.
Interestingly enough, I just went to search for the New Zealand fundraiser again because I didn't have it bookmarked, and if I can see why there's an underscore in the name they've chosen, because the other one's got fundraiser works in there of some nude photography. So, yeah, that's not quite right, fluffy bunnies.
Yeah, sorry, that was my alternative one. It was a personal fundraiser. Just kidding.
Well, they're very tasteful works anyway.
You told me you deleted those.
If anybody needs help burning their seekers, my address is nux.eth. I'll just burn them all.
Speaking of the fundraiser, was there any update of when we might see the POTOs in that wallet?
Sorry, I was muted. So we, the original POTA contract, which was created over 2 years ago now, was actually launched as like a lazy mint on OpenSea using the OpenSea contract. When they updated their contract structure late last year, it basically locked us out from uploading any new ones to that collection. We were always planning on migrating it all to our own contract sooner or later, but now it's obviously sooner. So we have the devs working on launching the new POTA contract as we speak. That should be live by the end of the day. We'll mint all of the existing ones. And then we'll mint up the new 5 that we're putting up for auction. We'll run those through the auction, and then next week we'll set up the mechanics for people who are existing POTA holders to basically burn their legacy collection ones and receive the new collection.
Burn them. Sorry, it's the theme of the day.
Very much appreciated. Thank you.
All right. I think I've got the screen share ready to go. Who wants to see me burn my shit?
Are the amulets tradable on OpenSea?
Again, no, not immediately, but once the bridge is open, they will be. And we're also launching the Root Network Marketplace, which we'll be releasing some more information on in the coming weeks.
Perfect.
All right, let's hit it. Helps if I unmute myself. All right. Can everyone see my screen? We are live.
Yeah, good to go.
If you can't see it, everybody, you have to click on his name and click watch stream, depending on what you're using.
All right. Just making sure that it's on the right screen. Welcome, mortal. Time to take your first steps along the path. You ready to prove your loyalty to the Queen? We call upon you to pledge your seekers to this noble cause and sacrifice the bots for the good of the Goblin Empire. Proceed to the junkyard and get ready to cast them into the fire. Our portal restoration is progressing as planned, with many seekers already sacrificed. The Tinkers are working day and night to ensure every part finds its rightful place in the construction. Once all sacrifices have been made, the next phase of the path will commence. Our connection to our homeland, Evergrim, will be restored along with our horde to its former glory. Our cauldron bubbles and burns with unbridled fury, liquidating your hunks of tin into far more useful material. Many have tried to resist their fate, but a visit from the Dartseeker soon put an end to that. Let's just say it has a fiery side. Those with the courage to complete the sacrifice will be drawn to the most prized artifacts, goblin amulets of immeasurable power. The time has come, mortal. Turn back now, prepare to banish your seekers to their eternal fiery doom. Choose wisely. I am ready. Right now, I've got to make sure I pick the right ones because there's some that I don't want to burn because I like them, but you are.
Burn them all, bro.
Burn.
Hold back.
Hell is a softie. Softie.
I am not. I have a propensity for code breaker arms, given my prawn background. So there's a few. And Thor's hammer is literally my favorite attachment, so there's no way he's going on the fire. That little
What's
one
going
here,
on?
get ready
You
to
better
melt.
burn all of these. Who is this? Is this Captain?
This is Captain, mate.
You better burn all of these, my guy. But wait a minute. Looks like you need one more, don't you? Oh, no. You got enough. You got enough. I just burned like 40. I was like distracted. I have ADD, so I have to focus. So
I'm the
that
same,
whole
mate.
time I was like trying to get them all burned. I just burned like 45.
Yeah, buddy. All right,
Yep.
there's got my 15. The sacrifice ready for my gold one. Yep, I'm ready to approve. Let's hope I got enough gas in my wallet. Yes, I approve. Queen will only remove the seekers you've selected for sacrifice. Good. Filthy
Good
robots.
choice.
Yeah.
The Queen's gonna
I
be
love-
happy.
I love gold. Gold.
GG.
$22. I'm happy with that. What a bargain.
It's burn season. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the burn that everyone was preparing for with all the burns that have been happening recently. This is the real burn that everybody was getting ready for. You know what I'm saying?
Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Success. Awesome. Oh, look at that. It's a heartwarming sight.
I hope you checked your backpacks, bro.
Yes. I didn't actually check my backpack, so I just selected everything and went, goodbye. The sacrifice complete. Queen smiles upon me and I'm welcome to the horde. Sacrifice more. I would, but I don't have any left. And thus concludes the screen sharing. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for reading. It's a limit, so like I'm sure half of us couldn't see that because it limits you. But thanks for narrating.
I tried.
We appreciate you, sir.
I'll keep the memes coming in general in the meantime.
Hey, Puffer, have you got a top 5 for burning seekers? Maybe tips or top 5 seeker attachments?
No, I don't really. I'm not prepared. I'm sorry, but I'll tell you this.
Maybe next week on Down the Rabbit Hole.
Okay, I'll get prepared. But I'm gonna give you a top tip right now for microwaving
Just a tip?
food. Yeah, I'm working on a top 5 microwave cooking lists. But here's the number 1 tip, so you don't need the other 4. Coffee filters. If you're gonna microwave something, just put it on a coffee filter. Because your plate sucks up all the heat and it's wasting all the radioactivity. Like your kid wants some chicken nuggets, throw some nuggets on the coffee filter, boom, it's ready in 30 seconds instead of 90. Well, you guys are metric, so it takes like 120 seconds.
I can just hear the sound of the furnaces being cranked up.
Hi, can I ask a question about the goblin backgrounds? Is there anything coming for that?
What do you mean?
You mean the goblin cave?
Yes.
Is there something coming for that? I mean, there must be a reason to have a goblin cave background. I'm just thinking, is it linked to the goblin queen? I don't know. Is there a reward for it, or I don't know, I'm just asking.
That would be telling.
There's a reason for everything. I mean,
there's a reason.
I don't want to give.
Okay, so still to be advised.
The goblin caves, like the best reason for it really is where goblins go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah. Because what would happen to you've got a seeker in the goblin cave. So what happens to that seeker eventually?
Well, hopefully we catch them.
Easy catch. That one, yeah.
I mean, not very smart of the seeker to be there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, all right. We'll wait to hear from you guys then. Thanks.
Out of curiosity, what is your favorite background?
My favorite background.
Yeah.
I think the mushroom cave, with the mushrooms is one of them.
Mushroom forest.
Mushroom forest is my favorite.
But I'll be honest with you, I really like the goblin cave. I actually made sure I got one in anticipation of something coming from it. Yeah.
Yeah, I buy things because I like the look of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mushroom forest is probably my absolute favorite out of every background. I'd say I love that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm so glad I finally got one.
Yeah, I was looking at them. They're a bit expensive, but they're very, very nice.
I do really want that one that's in the fundraiser wallet because it has a prawn in the backpack as well.
Yeah, prawns. Very nice, yeah. No, cool. Thank you very much.
If you say enough nice things to Kyle, he might come up with a few extra fun things for that goblin cave.
Okay.
You're talking to the right guy.
They said extra.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people have been speculating about all sorts of things, about, obviously you've got the seeker side and the goblin side, but, is this the only time that we will have burning of seekers, or will there be another, how would you say, another wave of burning?
Cull?
A great question.
This is the only planned burn for Seekers. Like they fulfill a very special function here, giving their delicate little lives to power the portal. Once we get it going, we don't really need any more. We need
Not even for junk?
I don't really class the Seekers as junk, you know? They have a particular purpose right now. Goblins are very resourceful.
Yeah. And tell me, when it comes to the burning of junk NFTs, can any junk be thrown in there, or does that have to go through a vetting process?
We actually do a manual vetting of every single contract. That's purely to protect everyone. There's a lot of scam NFTs out there that, you know, even if you try and like transfer them or do any form of interaction with the contract, has malicious code in there that will essentially clean out some or all of your wallet. So we are having to go through a manual vetting process of every single contract. That is part of that to ensure your safety. We don't want you to get burned when you're trying to burn stuff.
I have a question about that, if you don't mind.
Sure. You go for it.
Will it be a proxy contract in which you can add more contracts later on to burn in the future? Or is it kind of one chance, one go?
No. So we'll constantly be updating. We want to, you know, long term include as many junk collections as possible. We've already put together the initial list and we've got the team starting to work through and vetting them all. But we're also opening up to community submissions. We'll be taking a form live later this week or within the next, sort of by early next week, to allow people to kind of put their suggestions for. I'm sure everyone here has a few random bullshit, you know, Lonely Ape Boat Club or whatever the fuck NFTs in their wallet that they just want to get rid of.
Magic Club.
That's awesome. We got to keep fueling the fire.
Exactly. And so we'll open suggestions up to everyone, but then those with amulet holders, as we continue to roll out, will be able to have kind of a role in governance of how we define and finalize those collections that are approved.
How does it the collections that get burned? Like, would that be a diminishing supply like we're doing with Seekers, where metadata would change? Are they like officially burned from those collections?
Yeah, I mean, they're all sent to a dead address, so they are inaccessible. And I mean, in terms of the way that the metadata is displayed, it's something that are kind of down to the marketplace themselves to ensure that they're not recording metadata from assets that are housed within the burn address. I've already discussed this with OpenSea. We'll obviously have that built properly with the Root Network marketplace, but I can't kind of speak to other marketplaces if they're not following best practices there. But yes, obviously that's diminishing supply. If you've got a 10K collection and 1,000 of them get burnt, that means there's only 9,000 left.
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I wonder if any collection will get down to 0. There'll be like one holder left. Love to see it.
The floor is 10 million ETH.
Can I ask about the seeker count tracker? I know people were mentioning like seeing how many had been burned so far. Is there somewhere that's central that shows that data?
You can check the contract, I believe, and I can post it. But I will be intermittently posting up on socials, like kind of a visual counter, sort of like the minting of Seekers in a way, but just a different graphic for that, and we'll post that out on socials.
Okay, cool. It looks like OpenSea is maybe updating, but Blur is not. So you can probably track it slightly that way too.
But I guess we can't find out how many gold amulets will be there and how many silver amulets and bronze amulets will be there.
But it looks like Death Vader and Monty posted that user scan if you want to check there.
Okay.
Etherscan is probably the best way to get the most accurate info quickly.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you had a plan to address upset communities or founders, or maybe even a FLUF ambassador to direct them to. Just there's a chance that some people may get upset as we're metaphorically throwing their hard work into a fire.
I mean, I've learned through life's experiences that you can't appease everybody all the time, and if you're not making a few people upset, then you're probably not doing things right. In part, that's down to the community. You guys are the ones helping us curate the list, so but I think Kyle has some thoughts about this.
Yeah.
Can we burn 1155 for junks?
The way how it will work is once we get to once the form opens up, everyone gets to propose, basically their hidden folder. Like, let's be honest, you're all just going to put in stuff that you own, or things that you've been burnt on in the past. Then amulet holders will get a chance to vote on the collections that will be put forward to the Queen's Council, the Queen's Security Council, and the Security Council will review things and make the final say on contracts that are deemed acceptable for us to interact with. This can mean anything. This is something that's an ongoing mechanic. But in terms of, as you say, having people come in that might be upset, we understand that there are people that have put time into these collections. There's artists out there that have done this. This is not about, destroying people's work. It's about recycling, about bringing new life to projects and opportunities where, there might not be those that exist in the past. It's just a case of taking taking opportunities where there isn't anything that you can do at the moment except stare at a picture that reminds you, like look at your Magic Pickle Club and decide that you can't do anything with that at the moment and be like, well, actually, I would really like to turn that into a goblin. And this is the opportunity for you to do that. That's the whole point. It's upcycling. Goblins are green energy.
Also, a lot of these guys that created these collections, most of the ones that I imagine will get proposed, they've essentially left their community and are not planning to do anything with it.
It just cut out, and he's coming back. Yep.
Can I ask something about these communities? I've got a couple of NFTs that are, I'm not going to name it, but I bought it at 0.9 and now floor price is like 0.04. And I know there's a lot of unhappy people in there. Would we be able to propose that? It's still an ongoing community, but
you can propose any community, any contract, any collection you want, really.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's good to know. And then another thing is, when are we going to see the Queen?
If the founders come after us with pitchforks, we're going to kind of delegate responsibility to the community.
Fair enough.
Well, and also along those lines, I'm going to start to be like a little governor here. That's why I'm going to get as many amulets as I can. But if you think about it too, you want that. I mean, you've heard the phrase like no publicity is bad publicity. That's true to an extent. I mean, when you look at some of the things that happen on NFT Twitter, we always get this, this complaint, I guess, of like, when marketing and things like that. Not that we, like obviously we have a lot of different things that we're working on, but like one of the things is the best way to get NFT Twitter attention is to cause some sort of controversy. So, I mean, maybe this is Nux speaking more as a little deviant goblin and less as, an employee of Futureverse. But I mean, really, when you think about it, you want some people to get upset. That's how you get people to talk about these sorts of things. And obviously, we aren't going to go and ruin communities intentionally, obviously, that are putting in good work, good artists, good dev work, etc. Like the whole point of this is this dual, between what the Queen is doing and what this set of governors are doing with their amulets. Like the whole idea is that you are proposing ones that theoretically should have some sort of impact. So if the community says, I really hate Wolf Game for whatever reason, even though they've got a decent floor and they're obviously not abandoned, like theoretically that could fit within the criteria and be something that's proposed, and there could be all sorts of fun things that happen there. But at the same time, that's a decision that the community has to make.
Yeah. But just to reiterate, the goal here, as I've said, we're not here to ruin other people's projects. We're not here to like take art and burn it and celebrate the burning of that art. The point is to recycle what you have, to give it a set of new life, literally, in an animated, fun goblin kind of manner, things that you can then do stuff with. That's the goal.
Yo, I really like this approach on it because I feel like it is like giving a lot of projects like an opportunity right here. Like, let's say you're a founder that's just been struggling to like find something for your community. Like, this is a great opportunity for you to be like, guys, like you have a chance right here to like burn your stuff. Like, the people who want to stay, we can make it more curated and like burn down some of the supply, and then like you have a more curated group of holders. I think this is really like can be a positive for any like founders. Like if they get mad, they might just be looking at it the wrong way, because even if you're like a big project that is developing stuff, like the people who are burning are essentially people who don't find as much value. So like, why not just let them exit, make the supply a little more scarce, and then just, you know what I mean, kind of like curate your community a little bit. I think it if you look at it from an objective standpoint, it's a really smart idea that like helps everybody.
Thank you, Dark Seeker.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they made it optional to burn a Bored Ape, right? I bet somebody would. I
got a quick one. Is there like a scaling on how much junk is rewarded? Which this is probably not able to be answered, but I'm curious if there's a scaling based on price of the NFT that you burn, or if it's just going to be like one flat rate of junk that's given per burn. But might not be something you can answer, but just something I thought about.
It'll be a discovery process.
Is that not good marketing opportunity? Buy a Bored Ape, burn it.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like that, to me, that says that you want to burn it because it's a Bored Ape. Like you're burning it to be like, haha, Bored Ape, I'm burning it. When the focus should be, I want to see what I mean, if you want to, you could propose it. I don't know when, but like the point is like you take something that you don't want, or you will no longer have any use for, and you're like, I would like to breathe some new life for this. I would like to have something that I can actually do something with. And that's the point. Not burning it because you're like, haha, I'm burning this because fuck that. You scientific term.
So all 97 of those,
the world burn.
So all those NFTs that are just sitting in your hidden part of your wallet are gonna finally have a use.
Basically, as long as they're not like the scammy. Rug myself there on the mic. We don't want people to interact with bad contracts, and that's where a lot of the hidden stuff lies, because we get sent like Flippy Dippy Shark minting pass. And
so how does that work with all the scamming ones? Is there like a process that it goes through?
Yes. Yeah. So everyone will get to like fill out the form and propose to the Queen the collections they want, and then the amulet holders will get to consolidate and vote on the ones that they think should go forward to the Queen's Council, and then the Queen's Council, aka the Security Council, will vet the contracts of those put forward and then decide on the final ones that will be included in future junking mechanics. And when you do interact, at the junkyard, then you will only be able to select the ones for the approved contracts. You won't be able to click on scams.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Can I ask, when are we going to see the Queen?
Ooh. The Queen's not far away. She'll be showing up.
Is that Shara?
Very soon. Very soon.
Is Shara the Queen?
She's a queen. She's not the queen.
All right, cool. Looking forward to seeing that soon.
Yeah, goblins look great.
Would all junk be created equal? So like, doesn't matter. Like I know somebody mentioned they had bought at 0.9 and now it's at 0.04, but it doesn't matter what you paid for the NFT that you would be burning. It's kind of just any sacrificed NFT would be treated the same.
Junk. Yeah, one junk is one junk.
Got it. Perfect. Yeah, I saw somebody ask in general, so just wanted to address it.
Thank you for that.
Yo, do you guys want to give any comment about? We saw a badass video. I think a lot of people saw this video today on about Uniswap, and FLUFs were like center stage on that Uniswap, and a lot of people have come today and asked about, if you watch that video, you see they're buying it with FLUF. Like, is that just? Can y'all give a little talk about that? Because a lot of people have asked about what money sign FLUF is. I don't know how you say that in real life, but
Is Uniswap going to root network? That's the question.
Is Alex busy or something? I'm not answering that question.
Yeah, I'm not going near that one.
I actually literally have to jump now into a meeting. I was supposed to be on that Uniswap. There was supposed to be a podcast around that. But no, that's with our partnerships team that's driving that. But we'll get more information out about that for you guys.
all right, good deal. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I had a question about amulets. On deciding whether to do 15 single bronze amulets or 15 gold amulet. Is it a linear benefit in terms of junk and other future drops? Like if you get 1 or 15, you get 1 junk or 15 junk. Is it linear that way in terms of what you're getting in the future?
The best way I can answer this is to say that it's up to you to decide how you want to transfer that value from seekers into amulets. I personally have chosen to go for 1 gold amulet because I love gold.
But in terms of junk, like when you allocate junk to the different levels of amulet, is it one junk?
I kind of
don't buy. Yeah, we can't. Don't buy them thinking that it's 1, 5, 15, like it's linear or like. Don't think of it as what gets more junk. It's a lot more than that. Is the way to think about it. There will be. Go ahead.
No, just so the reason the last AMA we had, this came up, and Alex said you should think of the gold as being 15x value.
Yes,
so,
I think that was an incorrect thing to say.
Okay, so I'll shut up. Just explain why you think that's incorrect.
Because the way that the value is tiered is not a simple mathematical linear equation. They just you can't say something that simple is basically the way that I would explain it.
Yeah. There isn't
too simplistic.
A financial value can be equated to the amulets, the tier value, right? It's not necessarily just financial reward. It's social.
And more. I don't know, Kyle. I know, Kyle, that's your domain. You and I talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure to be careful while also being precise.
Yeah. Aside from financial, I mean, I think what you're saying is there's greater value in the gold beyond finances. You're saying it's not additive. It's of greater value than just the sum of its.
Right, and I don't want you to burn 15 seekers for 1 gold versus 15 bronze, thinking you're going to get a specific precise multiplier with respect to junk. Right, if you get less than that, you'll be disappointed. If you get more than that, and you didn't do it, you'll be disappointed. I'm just basically saying that's not how the math maths. It's not just one of these is, or 15 of these is the same as 15 as one of these bigger ones. It's.
Yeah,
just that's not how really rarity works across any collection, honestly.
You can't measure favor of the Goblin Queen in junk anyway.
Sometimes it's about, shifting that perspective, for the sole purpose of speculation, to enjoying the process of acquiring, collecting, and enhancing, other assets, while you get to be encouraged to be creative and make content, and being a producer and enjoyer of that particular ecosystem and experience. And so that's one way to look at it. It's not a mathematical equation, as Nux said. There is a finite amount of junk that each tier will get, but there's so much more than that.
Yeah.
Okay, and will there be a way to when these are trading on Root or OpenSea? Will you have there'll be amulets that someone's claimed the junk, and there'll be amulets where people have not claimed the junk. Will it be apparent on the metadata?
You will. Don't worry, there will be a full tutorial and information ahead of time exactly how the mechanic works as we approach the offering and the summoning, so that you will know exactly what will be happening. We're not going to make people speculate on how it will work. We're going to tell you exactly how it's going to work, and then you can decide how you want to, shape your experience by that.
But I'm talking about 5 years from now. 5 years from now, when I'm buying an amulet, am I going to be able to tell whether the junk was claimed or not?
It's even, for sure. But also, with the Root network and the way that we're building things, that whole user experience will be a lot simpler and easier than it is on, ETH right now. Whether that means you have a claim checker, if that's how it is, or if it's just an airdrop. The way I would think about it right now is these amulets are analogous. So I'm not saying they're the same, but it's very analogous to thingies and moonrocks, right? Like, do you have to check for that sort of thing? No, because of the way that the tokens work. It's meant to be as simple and as easy as possible. And that's the benefit of having this sort of soft token for something like junk, rather than like a tradable, ERC20 or whatever.
Okay.
Boomer asked about benefits in the chat. I mean, we've been kind of talking about that. I think the easiest way to talk about that is, there's this non-linear gradient across these different levels that are basically a function of favorability with the queen. What that means, obviously, will be determined and seen in the future. Right now, you're obviously you're taking a leap of faith and kind of basically saying, I'm going to be part of this goblin community at certain levels of status, and that's really the easiest way to think about it. Do you want to be the highest level, the mid level, or the lowest level? Either way, you're still part of it, and that's why even if you only have one seeker to burn, there could still be tremendous amount of benefit from doing that. It's not that one of them is necessarily better than the other. It's just really about how deep are you going to go.
How deep is your love?
Exactly.
For the queen.
Is that the original version or the Calvin Harris version?
Yeah, it's the Burning Goblin version.
Could I try to ask the burning question again? I had some comms problems earlier, but basically, so let's say you have 10 gold shovels, 3 of them get burned, 7 will only be able to be used in Third Kingdom. There will only be 7 that can actually be used, 3 of them, but they're not actually being destroyed, they're just going to a different wallet. They're still on the chain.
No, they're burned.
But what does that really mean?
Well, so people have burned punks before and other collections like this. I think that personally, this is kind of an opinion, but also in general, the opinion tends to be that it means the supply is diminished. So since they're going to this address that's the known burn address, most marketplaces will reflect on the marketplace that the supply is lower, and OpenSea should change pretty much after the seekers get burned. And the supply is lower as far as a community perspective on it. But you're right, there's no way to actually take them off the blockchain. But NFTs have been around a really long time, and like I said, people have done this on punks, and they're technically out of the supply.
Okay.
I can confirm OpenSea is updating with the burn.
Okay, good. That was really the root of my question is, will people be alerted that the supply itself is actually dwindling down? So that's good news. Thanks.
It's the way, and if you think of it in utility, at the moment, they're a seeker and they're a robot and they work really well. When they go to the burn address, they get melted into a brick of metal, which technically is still existing, but then you can't do anything with it, except maybe like a doorstop.
Yeah, because no one has access to it. There's nobody that can access that wallet. Because if you go look at the address of it, it's 0x 00000. There's no owner of that wallet, and there never will be.
If I had a bag of concrete, I have heaps of bags of concrete, and I can see them. I can move them around. I can do stuff with them until I put them in the foundation of a building, and they're still technically a bag of concrete, but they're in a place I can't touch or move anymore. So think of seekers as these really fancy bags of concrete as we build the portal.
Yeah, I think that works for a lore perspective and for like trying to understand like how this is going to feel for the community. But from the actual blockchain itself could arise a little questions, because if you were to go to that wallet, it still exists, just not kind of in our mind's eye, I guess. It's just sitting over in a corner and nobody's ever going to touch it. Technically, it still exists, but as far as we're concerned, it doesn't.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean by the bags of concrete or the bricks. I can think of more metaphors if you want.
Well, no, I think the metaphor is confusing because the item itself just moves to a different wallet. Like it itself isn't, so as a metaphor for lore that works, but what is actually going on the blockchain is more basic.
Yeah, but like CoinGecko will reflect this too with the ERC20s when a project will do a token burn. So like the same thing will happen with a like a ERC20. Let's say a project like right now, if that project Fiat DAO is consolidating its token into bond, and if you have 750 Fiat, you can get one bond with it, and the tokens get sent to a burn address, and CoinGecko will reflect the total supply as being lower, even though technically some of it is at the burn address. And like that's just the first one that came to mind, but there's a ton of projects that have done have like burned tokens, and this is just the way it's done. And yeah, like so the front ends, like you said, technically the tokens exist, but front ends don't reflect it because it's just not in the circulating supply, and it never will be again, if that makes sense.
It almost sounds
Alex
like
answered this. Alex answered this earlier. If a marketplace such as OpenSea chooses to say things in the OX dead address shouldn't show up, then the metadata will update accordingly. Otherwise, if a marketplace's API chooses not to do that, then yeah, the numbers will stay the same and it won't matter. So it's up to the marketplaces. Obviously, we in the root network will always have the right values for these different collections that are on the root network updating accordingly. But if not, you just need to know, obviously, that like, yeah, it's not going to be super apparent if you go from 10 to 7 for like on Blur. If they're just not paying attention or caring about this, they just might not. But like OpenSea, since we've talked to them, and then again on our own network, which will matter the most, it'll be updated. That's, to me, the easiest, most concrete answer to your question.
Yep. Yeah, it takes 3 or 4 different ways to hear it, using 3 or 4 different voices to actually have complex blockchain questions answered. So I'm good. We can transition, but that was a tough question. So thanks everybody for helping.
That was great.
I have to.
This is all uncharted territory.
I'm very much enjoying this a lot.
Is Jesse still here? Or is it just me?
I'm with you.
Nice.
Yeah. Feel free to keep chatting. It sounds the underground is kicking off as well, so feel free to join that. We've got some fantastic music and some great DJs kicking off. I did request for Disco Inferno to be played on repeat for the first hour, but we'll see how that goes. But thank you all for tuning in to the Alex and Friends Sacrifice. I think we're almost at 1,000, which is bloody good.
GG.
So
that's pretty good.
So, thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Feel free to jump over to Sounds of the Underground. I'm happy to stick around for another 10 minutes or so if there's anything. Either it could be probably outside of Goblins, though I know enough to answer those questions too. Just figured I'd stick around if you guys want to chat.
And Knox, I'd like to give a special shout out to Captain and his team for like all the work they put in for this Seekers event. Gods and Goblins, like it's been insane.
It is, and the amount that they're doing, the speed at which they're doing a lot of these different things, and then I don't know the right word, but a lot of what the Gods and Goblins team is doing is really like the tip of the spear for a lot of our platform implementations for Futureverse. Like they mentioned Futureverse identity, things like that you're going to start to see. I told Kyle, it's like his, this project that he's leading is like a prototype, first in human. I can't think of the right word for it, but just kind of like the first iteration of a lot of these things that we'll start to be seeing across a lot of these different projects. And it's very impressive, the ability to do these wide scale approaches, but then take them in a very pinpointed way and deliver them for Goblins while also obviously maintaining scope and all of the features needed for these different things around the pledge, sacrifice, bestowing, offering, summoning, etc. So yeah, hats off to that team. Show them some love, please. Anybody else want to talk about anything? You can always just jump.
I have a question.
What's up?
For people that like me that arrive late, is when we sacrifice seekers, what we're doing is sending them to a burn address, and then later we'll be able to be dropped amulets on the root network. Is that? But there's no date for that.
No, I think Alex did say it's after, like getting the amulet is right after the sacrifice is over. And there's a prompt basically to enable Futureverse identity. That's kind of what I was just alluding to. And that once you've done that, that's when you get your amulets. And that will be in your root network wallet address, which is going to be a mirror, like numbers wise, of your ETH address that you did it from.
Window closes, Futureverse ID claim, job done.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's
Does that
pretty
answer the question?
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is very
I've got
exciting.
a question. I've got a question on the Futureverse ID. So basically, it's only if you are a goblin and you're burning seekers that you're getting it. Is that right?
Anyone can create one.
This will be
so it's not exclusive just to the goblins.
correct. Goblins are just potentially first, is the way that I would look at it.
Okay, all right. So, okay, I know someone's asked already, but I mean, sacrificing 30 seekers and saving one, okay, you shouldn't really be rewarded. But what if you sacrificing 2 or 3 and saving 3, sacrificing 2, saving 3?
You're still a murderer.
You're asking the right questions, but yeah, I mean, there's no way we can give an answer to that other than obviously, loyalty means loyalty. And I think that you can think about loyalty as if there were different layers to it. Like, oh, I only killed 2, living creatures, or you killed 0, or you killed all of them. This is, you just got to kind of have to make that decision. Are you really supporting seekers? Are you kind of supporting seekers? Are you fully supporting goblins? And just see what happens.
Were you passive or did you actively save? Did you just not kill the ones in your wallet, or are you actively saving? There's lots of ways to look at how good a person can be.
Yeah, but guys, come on. Is a seeker really a living creature? Don't feel bad about it. Just do it. It's not that big of a deal.
Says the dark seeker.
The question is too, do you say please and thank you to ChatGPT? It's a relevant question because half the time we do thinking that we're talking to somebody real.
I'm pretty rude to my Alexa, honestly. She's not very smart.
God damn it, give me what I want.
Yeah, I've had a couple fallouts with Siri, that's for sure.
What happens if I sacrifice like 8 or something? You know what I mean?
You cut out there, bro.
I said, what happens if I sacrifice like an uneven amount of seekers, like 8 or something?
You're just gonna have to find out. You don't get special privileges because you're the Dark Seeker. Okay, buddy?
No, but I'm saying, like, does it give me like 3? Will it give me like 3 of the tier 1s?
You choose. You choose. Just if you have 60, you could do 60 bronze. You're just gonna have to go through the process 60 times. Or you can do 4 gold.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
It's not like you go through and you're kind of like shopping and throwing like gold and bronze and silver ones in the cart, or it's like random. It doesn't automatically give you. It will automatically give you what you've pledged for each pledge. So if you do 5, you're getting a silver. If you do 4, I think you'd get 4 bronze. And I don't actually remember if it's either that or you have to do it individually. I'm pretty sure you get 4 bronze, but that's how it works.
Facts. So I should just like separate the transactions.
Yep.
Correct.
Hey, Snowball, I have a question about something you just said a minute ago. Because, I'm saving my seekers.
Okay.
And you mentioned, I think it was you that mentioned, you distinguish between saving, but meaning you don't kill the ones in your wallet, or you also actively save a seeker. What did you mean by that? Actively saving a seeker?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say, I'm excited to hear Snowball's explanation for this one.
So you didn't. So you didn't. Are you being cheeky, or you actually didn't mean anything?
I feel like there is actually maybe an answer to that, and maybe I don't know, Fred, if you know what you're saying, or you're just being cheeky. But think of it as, should you really be rewarded for doing nothing? Is what he's trying to say, and the answer is yes, if there's something that you need to do maybe afterwards to prove that. But like that's not real.
What's that poem? When they came for X, I stood and did nothing. When they came for Y, I stood and did nothing. It was only when they came for me that I acted, and it was too late, right?
Okay, so actually actively buying seekers now and saving.
That is not the message that I am giving.
Buy seekers. That's exactly what Snowball said.
Buying void.
Non-financial advice.
Let's go, Snowball. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. Did we sufficiently confuse you? Do you have absolutely no data to go off of? All right, good.
Yes.
Beautiful. That's the Goblin way.
Can I just jump in with sorry. Can I just jump in with a quick question to get some clarity about an answer you just gave? When you sacrifice 4 seekers and it highlights that you're eligible for the bronze, can you do one transaction and get 4 bronze, or will you have to do them individually?
See what it does, but I actually don't like. I can go test it myself and let you know what that edge case is. But I think you'd get 4 bronze if I'm not mistaken. You're not going to only get 1 for sure. I can tell you that. Like 4 does not only get 1, so it's either it'll only let you do 1 at a time, or you're getting 4. But I don't remember what that is from the testing.
Perfect. Well, I needed to know. Thank you.
Yep.
I have 4 left on one of my wallets. I'm going to test it right now. So give me like 2 minutes and I'll let you know how it goes.
And for all of those Save Your Seekers questions, I would like to point out and put on the spot that we do have Monty in Smokers, the Seekers community manager, who I'm sure will be happy to take any Saving Seekers questions.
NFTmonkey.eth, send it. I'll put it in the chat.
That's the party line.
So Monty, what is going to happen with these void seekers? After they don't get burnt and they're loyally looked after, obviously that background's going to need to change. Can we get anything regarding how we'll get rewarded for that, or what will happen with that background?
I'm not really allowed to speak on that at the moment, but as you do know, void backgrounds are the only backgrounds that can't be changed once scene swapping is introduced, and scene swapping is just around the corner, so that's super exciting. But yeah, other than that, my lips are sealed.
Yo, so just a heads up, if you try to sacrifice 4 seekers and it won't let you. If you click 4 of them and try to sacrifice them, it gives you do not enter sign.
There you go. So 1, 5, or 15.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for checking.
Yes, sir.
That makes the most sense with the logic, but okay. Anything else? Or you guys all good? All right. Enjoy, everybody. I'm gonna go back to work. Yep. Yeah. Feel free to give feedback. Honest feedback in general, wherever. Tag me, tag whomever. This was just meant to be a different way of doing things. I think it was still informative. It was obviously a lot less formal. But also there wasn't a little song and dance at the beginning either, because we was kind of just hanging out with everybody, still answering questions. I thought it was good. I think it's also very different from the Twitter Spaces sort of atmosphere. So yeah, like I said, just drop some comments, feedback like you always do, and I'll continue to incorporate that into our approach. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks very much.
Sounds the Underground is currently going off. We're turning it up. So get in there and enjoy your burning, listening to some Goblin tunes.
Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos. Bunnies up!